Before entering a discussion on the simulation theory and dream theory, let's review that acronym I was telling you about. Do you remember Super Papa? Say it with me. Super Papa is the self-understanding, proto-energetic reality performing abstraction polyastronomically. Super Papa. Bravo. Perfection is self-understanding, and it's the first energy between abstraction and reality. It's the reality within the spectrum of all possibility that ensures the best of all possible outcomes, and that outcome includes all possible good things. It's logical that it must really exist because all possibility includes both the knowledge of how to make perfection real rather than just an abstract possibility, and certainty of the moral obligation to do so. And that outcome includes the contradictory result of both involving whatever evils are necessary to prompt any good things that couldn't exist without them by their nature, and excluding those very same evils, as well as any other evils. And this takes place in as many universes and dimensions in universes as are necessary to accommodate the realization of every good thing, whether those good things are possible or impossible. It doesn't matter. That's what perfection is. And perfection is not just an abstract possibility. It's real. Perfection is thus and the self-understanding, proto-energetic reality performing abstraction polyastronomically. Super Papa. It's a very vast amount of abstract possibility, to be sure. And the result is maximized awesomeness. Polyastronomically maximized awesomeness. Perfection. Keep that in mind as we consider simulation theory. And use the rewind button if I've lost you. Simulation theory gathers together some very interesting facts that quantum physicists and mathematicians have discovered lately. First, there's what we might call the quantum leap. It used to be that physicists assumed that objects moving in space moved in a smooth pattern. If a ball moved from point A to point B, it would pass through every point in the line between the 2 points. But it turns out that that's not actually true. Much to their surprise, physicists have discovered that objects don't actually move smoothly. They suddenly appear. Just appearing in a new location along the line. The path that they take can't be infinitely divided. Division would land in the spaces and times in between. And there's nothing known in any of that space or any of those times. Motion is really more like a movie projector. A projector sort of tricks the eye by providing periodic data at a rate of 26 frames per second. Physicists have discovered both a smallest amount of distance and a smallest segment of time. And those smallest units are referred to as Plancks, after the world-renowned physicist who discovered them, Max Planck. In the physical laws of the universe of Earth, time can't be divided into a smaller unit than Planck time. And space can't have a distance that's smaller than a Planck length. The result is that both space and time are pixelated. Do you know what pixelation is? Have you ever played a video game that had very low definition characters? They have square-shaped jagged edges that look like stair steps. And that's what you call pixelation. The definition is so low that you can actually see that the lines don't have smooth curves. Now, we expect to fool people with digital photography. We want our pictures to look real. What we don't expect, and what we didn't expect, was to discover that reality itself was like a low-resolution photograph or a low-resolution movie. But we did. We really did. Google Planck length, you'll see. The belief in the pixelization of the universe has actually been accepted mainstream science now for almost a century. Don't believe me? Check it out. And that fact, and other strange facts, have prompted a lot of interesting theories about how to explain that. How can the world not act smoothly? How can we not truly travel through the majority of space along a line when we move from point A to point B? How did the mechanics of physics established by Sir Isaac Newton, where everything moved smoothly, passing through every location from one point to another, get replaced by a jagged, leaping system of time and space? Well, the answer is quantum mechanics. Go and ask any physics major about quantum mechanics, and he'll let you know. Time and space are pixelated. Now, computers use pixelation to save data and energy, and that makes sense. It's more efficient to pixelate. Why provide a higher resolution than is practically necessary to achieve a goal? It just wastes data and energy, and it might crash your computer. But reality? Why would reality be efficient? Why would reality act like a computer? What some physicists don't like to hear is that the efficiency of the pixelated universe that they've now discovered may exist not as a matter of chance, but of intelligent design. What kind of intelligent design? Some of the theories sound pretty bizarre. Seeing the similarity between the universe and a computer, many physicists and mathematicians are tempted to suppose that we're all characters created in some super intelligent game player's living room somewhere. That idea becomes the brunt of jokes, and you probably find it very funny. Are the players behind the controls also pixelated characters? In some other, even more advanced alien species game? And what about who controls them? Some suppose there's an endless chain of game controllers and characters all being controlled by higher up game controllers, all in their own living rooms, living in pixelated worlds. And other people suppose that in some place along that chain of controllers controlling controllers is a reality. And we just can't see that from our present pixelated digital world. Either way, all or much of the universe does appear to be simulated, and we can't escape that fact. It acts like bits of data. It even looks like highly efficient computer code. Some mathematicians have observed an 8-dimensional lattice that they call a quasi-crystal. They can see 8 dimensions in a 3-dimensional world in a way similar to how that we can predict what an object looks like by examining its shadow. Never underestimate a mathematician. Is the universe actually comprised of nothing more than information? Well, that's what they're saying. Pamalogy looks at those theories with amusement because we already have the key that unlocks the mystery behind the puzzle that they're so confused about. Our formula is very simple. if it's good, then it's true. We begin with the logic of perfection. Therefore, to whatever extent more good things can come of it, it's true. Doesn't matter how complicated it is, it just means more good things are possible. As a result, some parts of some worlds may be analog while other parts are digital, like a good music mix. Some whole worlds may be entirely digital, other whole worlds mechanical and operating under Isaac Newton's laws and, being smooth, having smooth motion in space and time that can be endlessly divided and subdivided. Some worlds and parts of worlds may be simulations rather than realities. Maybe the bad parts are mere simulations. Perhaps the discovery of pixelation and the theory of simulation is a gift from perfection, helping us recognize the truth. The Pamologist says all these scenarios fit into the definition of perfection as possessing the imagination of omniscience, and every good thing possible and impossible, and turning every good possibility in the realm of abstract thought into reality, performing the abstraction polyastronomically until awesomeness is maximized. And awesomeness has been maximized from all eternity. There's never been a time in which awesomeness was not already maximized. And the maximization of awesomeness is worth endlessly repeating. To the Pamologist, the mechanics of this universe are one way, while the mechanics of another universe are another. Another set of mechanics is just one set of ways to exploit good possibility. There's a reason for it. The physicist is concerned only with understanding the mechanics of the universe of Earth, and what they found in it is pixelated time and space. They don't look for purpose or consider anything that they can't measure, such as another universe. They only want to determine whether there are any rules or laws that explain how things work in the world that they know, so they can make predictions, and so they can test their theories. Now, some physicists are philosophers on the side, but not all of them. It's not their job to inquire of the imagination of omniscience. So that's why we have Pamalogy, to fill that field. What is the imagination of omniscience? Is it the dream and mind of God? Is there anything impossible in a dream? What about the dreams of perfection? Can dreams sometimes seem real, yet we know they're not real when we wake up? Could perfection itself have dreams? Could the dreams of perfection include real reality and not just what seems like reality? Indeed, yes. Every good dream. There's a moral imperative within the obligatory set of possibilities that always exists as the best part of all possibility. And it is realized. It is performed. It's not just an idea. In the dreams of perfection, none of the evil is real, while all of the good things are real. Is there anything impossible with perfection? Simulation theory works very well with dream theory for finding both the reality of evils, which enable and prompt real good things that require them, and the unreality of those same evils. And are the dreams of perfection limited to one thought at a time, as are the dreams of humans? Or is every dream conceivable or inconceivable, possible or impossible, dreamt simultaneously and always. The dreams of perfection, the imagination of omniscience, consider all possibilities and realize whatever in those possibilities is good. Individual dreams and dreams about those dreams. Prepare your mind and heart for the inception of perfection as its unlimited dream realities augment who and what you are, multiplying you in every conceivable and inconceivable way, even if it's impossible. Perfection is problematic in a single universe, but not in a heaven with many dwelling places prepared for you. If the universes you really belong to stem from what is wholly good, then what appears to be evil is real only for good. It is unreal otherwise. But everything that is good in all of your experiences is both real and worth repeating. How can we know that? Because perfection is either real or it isn't. And it's logical that perfection is real. I've already shown you that. The fact that all good things have already happened and eternally repeat themselves explains why you exist in the present moment and in the present simulation as perfection's dream reality. Still, it should bring up some very difficult questions for you. Aren't you a person that moves along and changes over time? Why do you experience only one moment at a time? In part 3, we're going to talk about what we are as conscious perceivers.